Welcome back, folks. I'm Frizz, and today we're going to be covering some wonderful new changes coming to 2E. In case you weren't aware, Paizo occasionally releases erratas for the books that they release, and they just put out a new errata for the Core Rulebook, and as you might imagine, changes for the Core Rulebook can be pretty significant. Before we break down exactly what is in this errata, though, there is actually some new news about erratas. See, historically, Paizo releases erratas for their books whenever they reprint a particular book, which, depending on the popularity of the book, may not happen super frequently. Actually, it isn't that frequent for any Pathfinder books to get reprinted, but some of them, like the Core Rulebook, do get reprinted more often, so they get more erratas. This means that erratas are pretty few and far between normally, and some books would actually never get adjusted. Now though, Paizo is going to be releasing erratas twice a year, not coinciding with reprintings, which will hopefully lead to way more understandable rules and less broken stuff. And to be clear here, I'm talking about literally broken stuff that doesn't work, not just stuff that's good. But let's talk about some of the new changes, huh? A lot of the changes are simple and just clarifications about abilities, so I've linked the errata down below, but I have got to talk about the Gnome Flickmase. In case you weren't aware, the Gnome Flickmase is almost certainly the best weapon in the game. It's a one-handed reach weapon, and since it's also a flail, if you get critical specialization effects, and you crit someone with a Flickmase, you knock them prone without any saving throws. It's seriously amazing, and Paizo decided to tone down the weapon a bit. Its damage die was decreased down to a D8, and it weighs a little bit more, but it also got the sweep trait in exchange. In all honesty, I don't think that this makes that big of a difference in how good of a weapon it is, since sweep is a really good trait for a reach weapon because you're more likely to be able to hit multiple creatures with a reach weapon. And also, probably the best part about it is that it is a reach weapon that knocks people prone on a crit, so fighters just love it. I still think that this is an amazing weapon, although I do think the amount of human fighters that are raised by gnomes is about to decrease dramatically. Now though, we get to talk about the Alchemist, because there were a lot of really substantial changes made to the Alchemist class. All of the Core Rulebook research fields got boosted with added flexibility, but none of them nearly as much as the Churgeon. And if you know anything about the Churgeon, you know that it needs those boosts. The Churgeon is the healing alchemist, and it didn't really work great at all, really, up until now. The main ability that they got is the ability to roll crafting instead of medicine, but the thing is, to get the medicine skill feats that actually makes medicine good, they still had to increase medicine, so they basically had to increase two different skills, medicine and crafting, to be able to do what people can normally do with a single skill, that being medicine. Now though, they can use crafting to qualify for medicine feats, so they no longer even have to be trained in medicine, although I think they are trained automatically. Basically, they only need to care about one skill now, which dramatically improves how good of a healer they're going to be and how flexible they can be. That's not all though, since Churgeons can also now make healing elixirs with perpetual infusions. Now, before you get all excited about having access to infinite health potions, relax a little bit. Once a creature is healed by a potion from perpetual infusions, they can't be healed by another elixir from perpetual infusions again for 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes you can pass around some weak healing potions that people can just down them real quick. And all of this can be done on top of any other healing that you're providing. Like, say, treating wounds with your crafting skill. Seriously, I think that the Churgeon Alchemist might now be one of the best non-magical healers in the game, and there's really only one other source of competition, which is investigators. Now, the biggest change in this errata might also be one of the more controversial ones, but I really don't think that it should be. Paizo has introduced a new rule wherein any ancestry can choose to get 2 free ability score boosts rather than the ability score boosts that are listed with their ancestry normally. This allows for more character concepts to actually work mechanically, like a halfling barbarian, where you can actually get a boost to strength, and it can help some ancestries thrive in situations where they wouldn't otherwise, like, say, a halfling barbarian. There is another change here, though, which does really adjust some things, which is now that taking voluntary flaws to your ability scores doesn't give any kind of bonus. Basically, min-maxing be damned. Basically, if you want to play a character that has, I don't know, is really dumb and has a low intelligence for shits and giggles, you can still do it, you just won't get any boosts to your other ability scores to compensate. I'm also just going to point out here that if you don't have any skills that you can use to recall knowledge that you're trained in, you're basically going to be dumb as a sack of bricks later on anyway because you can't pass any of the DCs. I don't think that there's a perfect way to approach this solution that will make everyone happy, but I can say that this is a great option from my perspective, and I don't really get why people don't like it. I mean, I'd personally prefer it if rules as written, every ancestry had the ability to pick between 2 free ability boosts or 3 free ability boosts and 1 ability flaw. I just think that'd be better since there are currently ancestries that only get 2 free ability boosts, or 1 that is assigned to dexterity, the one free one like humans and fetchlings, and they don't really get anything from this rule change. And that doesn't really feel right. Regardless though, less bioessentialism in a game is, a good thing. I'm just happy with this errata, okay? Learning that there will be more errata to come to fix current and future problems is excellent news. And in general, the changes that they've made are all good in my eyes. I know not everyone is going to be happy with them, but if that's the case, then, I don't know, just run things differently at your table with the rules that you enjoy playing the game with. It's not that complicated. Regardless, seeing this errata has gotten me way more excited for future erratas to come. Thanks for watching. Right when I wasn't sure what to make a video on for today, this errata came out and I just knew that I had to cover it, so nice. Now though, I do have to ask, do you think that there's anything from the core rulebook that Paizo has missed with this errata? And if you could pick a book to get errata'd next, what do you think that book would be? Let me know in a comment down below and subscribe while you're down there or something. And regardless, until I see you next, live a wonderful life.